Woo! There's some good news to start the season. Habs first line center, Nick Suzuki, who's on the last year of his entry-level contract, which pays him just under $1 million, signs an 8-year contract extension with the Montreal Canadiens, worth an annual average value of $7.875 million per year. Spread over the 8 years, $63 million. This is a huge contract, and it is to a very deserving player. This is the guy drafted in the 2017 draft, number 13 overall by Vegas. We acquire him in the Max Pacioretty deal. In his draft plus 1 year with the Owen Sound Attack, 100 points. He goes on to be a clutch playoff performer for them, 12 points in 11 games. Follows that up next year, split between the Owen Sound Attack and the Guelph Storm, where he goes on to win the OHL championship and is a key clutch performer for the Guelph Storm, getting 42 points in 24 games. Then he's a beast in the Memorial Cup. Joins the Montreal Canadiens, and in his rookie season at 20 years old, 71 games played, 41 points, including 13 goals. And then we all saw what he did last year, following that up with a big improvement, matched his point totals in quite a few less games. 56 games played, 41 points, including 15 goals. The guy can do it all. But what stands out about him as one of the best young centers in the game today is his hockey IQ, his awareness, his defensive positioning, ability to cut off plays, turn that puck the other way, and use his dynamic skill to put some points up on the board. The guy has a lethal shot. He's a great power play player, knowing when to dish it off and knowing when he has the extra time to walk into an absolute laser. This is huge for this team, and I think there's a bit too much focus being paid to the departure of Phil Deneau and what sort of negative impact that can have on this Habs team, and not enough attention being paid to the strength and excitement of having Nick Suzuki taking the reins as the Habs' true number one center, especially now getting locked up to a team-friendly deal. And I wholeheartedly believe that during our run to the Cup final, he was just as important as Phil Deneau defensively for this Habs team down the middle. But the thing with Nick, he has so much potential offensively as well, but maybe even a point per game through his prime. We'll have to wait and see. Still such a young player. And now Montreal's depth at center and look at center for the foreseeable future, at least the next 5 years, is set. We've got Dvorak locked up. Now Suzuki signs this huge deal. Love that Montreal buys a bunch of Nick Suzuki's UFA years as well in this deal. That is clutch because, you know, by the time this expires, he'll be 30 years old. This is a perfect contract for a young elite player. And then, of course, we also locked up Jake Evans as well. So Montreal down the middle, I think that's a big strength for this team moving forward. Now, the one knock on Nick Suzuki is his face-off ability, but as a young player, not as experienced, and maybe doesn't get, you know, the benefit of the doubt sometimes in the dot. But over the next while, I'm sure that's going to be a piece of his game that improves, because it's the last key to the puzzle. Everything else, he just operates at an elite level. His mind for the game, his skill. He's a very mature kid beyond his years. 5'11", as well, 205 pounds, but he is built. He's tough. He'll go into the corners and win those battles. So this is a special player, and one you definitely should take a gamble on with a huge contract like this. He now becomes, I believe, Montreal's highest paid forward ever in the history of the franchise. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong about that, but, you know, Subban was at 9. He's a defenseman. Weber was at 7.8. So as a forward, I think this is the biggest deal, and that's oh, this is awesome, and it's just the news we needed to start this season. Now, here's a quick look at the forward lines heading into opening night against the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is what we're seeing in practice. This is what Dom Ducharme's running with. You can see we have Suzuki, Caulfield, as well as Toffoli still as a line. Then we follow that up with Dvorak, Drouin, and Anderson. Third line, Armia does draw up there on the left wing, and he's going to be playing with Jake Evans and Brendan Gallagher. What a third line. Very, very strong third line. Fourth line, looking like we're going to see Paquette down the middle at center. Then we got Perreault in the lineup as well. And of course, Arturi Lehkonen playing too. Now here's a quick look at the D-core. They are running with Brett Kulak and Jeff Petrie. Love to see these two guys reunited. Brett Kulak definitely deserves this spot. He should be a permanent fixture in this Habs D-core. I truly believe that. He doesn't often make too many mistakes in the D-zone. He moves the puck quick. He does what his coaches ask. He knows this system, and I think he's got some underlying skill in the offensive zone as well. You look at a guy like Mike Riley, who looked strong for Montreal for a few years. Now he's taken off for Boston. Kulak's that guy right now for Montreal, and I don't want to see, us let him go anytime soon. So I like seeing him draw up there. And then in the middle pair here, they're still trying to force this Weber-Sherratt energy by putting him with David Savard. We'll have to wait and see. Edmondson and Sherratt needed an adjustment period coming to play in Montreal. Hopefully it's the same for Savard. We'll keep an eye on that. Then down on the bottom pair, we have Romanov and Chris Weidman. And we all know what Romanov can bring with that toughness. But Chris Weidman has been strong through preseason, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the lineup. He's been great for this team's power play. And speaking of power plays, let's take a look at those lines as well. Here's a look at the first power play unit featuring Brendan Gallagher in that slot area and, down behind the net. And then we have Cole Caulfield working that left flank as the right-handed shot for that one-timer. And, of course, his ability to work the half wall. Tyler Toffoli in the bumper position. And then over on the right side, we have Nick Suzuki, who loves to work the half wall and walk into a shot from the point when he can, and just wire it home. And then, of course, Jeff Petrie as the quarterback on this unit. Unit 2, we have Chris Weidman working it from the point. Then we have Josh Anderson with Christian Dvorak in the middle. And, of course, Dvorak is just such a strong finisher in the middle of the ice. He plays the high slot and low slot very, very well. Then, of course, they have Jonathan Drouin and his playmaking ability, and Yoel Armia and the net front presence and size that he can bring to that unit. And here are your goalies to start the season. Guys, let me know what you think about these lines heading into the opening night against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Of course, let me know what you think about this 8-year contract extension for Nick Suzuki. Yeah! Go Habs, go, baby. I'll talk to you soon. It's lots of content already up. Season preview, in-depth with all the stats, top prospects video, and more coming your way. We're going to have reactions after games and get some buzzed up and baked episodes out again as well. I like to keep you guys guessing with the content and conversations that I have. And as always, if you're liking this content, hit that subscribe button and get in on the discussion down in the comments. Go Habs, go, baby.